Hi, Simon here, GM8NYB. I just did a little bit more on my CR100. I had a thought of how to go about it. Now, I originally thought I was going to complete the whole thing, that is, put the tuning dials on and the scale here. But then I thought, well, the only last thing I had to do was put the capacitor on and that. And if it wasn't going to work properly, or I had to do more work on it, it would have been such a pain to have to take all the tuning dials off again. So basically, I've put it doesn't take much to put the actual tuning capacitor on. It's just had just the wires coming through from the coil packs to solder on, and 4 bolts bolting it down. So at least it's in a position where I can now test it. And that's what I've been doing the last day or two, testing it out. It's definitely in need of a tune-up, but it's not too bad. Also had I've still got a few teething problems with it, which I need to sort out. So I shall switch it on. It's in the. I just put the knobs on; they're not in the right position, or probably in the right place. I just put them on. So hopefully it's warming up there. Let me see the valves lighting up. Zoom in a bit. Can't really see them on the camera, but they are lighting up, heating up, as I say. Right, I've connected a speaker up here, and the antenna is my doublet, which is not really at the main height. It's lowered at the moment because I was doing work on it, so the antenna is not very high. It's a doublet cut for top band, so 160 meters. So it's half wave on 160. So it's about 40 meters either side of the dipole. So I'm using the dipole connection. Right, now then, let's see what happens. First position that way is the AVC. The ABC working there, slight delay. Now that is band 5, 4 to 11 megahertz, so it's roughly around about 6. So it's not too bad, quite a nice volume on it. That's the aerial, beat my aerial up on there. Now, one other problem I've got is the BFO's not working. For some reason, maybe a fault. I had a look under. I've been through the whole circuit again underneath, and it seems to be wired up correctly. Tried a few different valves in it, and I discovered the shaft of the variable capacitor wasn't being earthed through the actual capacitor and the moving vanes, where it was bearing on the connection to ground. So I managed to tighten that up. Definitely needed a tune-up. I think that's the 40 meter amateur band coming in there. I think it's an RTTY competition today, or data mode one. So that's what it is. Now, because there's a radio ham station, because of no BFO, I've been putting in 465 kilohertz roughly off the signal generator. Although it's rather, well, you get the idea, but you can actually resolve it. Some sideband. I've got that up at 6 kilohertz band pass as well, so it's not too good. But there we go. So now the other thing I thought may have happened which I wasn't too happy with, was the band switch, band change. I remember I had that split shaft, and then I found a solid shaft. Well, I thought that I was cured, but once it's in the radio, when I start to change bands, they don't line up. There's still a lot of play in it, so I think I'm going to have to use that split bar and put the little grub screws in that jack them out to hold it tight. I'll demonstrate here. If I go down to, I'm looking at this to see what band we're on. I don't know if I can see it. I think it's getting a lot of fading there. Right, so I'll go down to medium wave, basically band 3. I have to wobble it around to get it to work. That's 4. As you say, it's not much there. So you just wobble it around, you get. I'll go down next band. So there's quite a nice lot of volume there off the speaker. Put the ABC back in. Now something else, it may be because it needs tuning up, but when I noticed when I switched the AVC on, it does overload it. The HF pot is too far advanced there, you see. It shouldn't do, but it's possible it's not tuned up. I noticed a lot of these are all different heights. So that's the next thing I want to do, is try and get it tuned up nicely. Now some of those valves aren't very good. They're the best ones I've got. I had a whole pile of them. One's really bad. If you listen to them, you can hear bits inside. And when I first switched it on, I had a lot of problems. I had that one in the second RF there, and it was a dead short the cathode. One of them, I should have kept it separate, but one of them got dead short to ground. Plus the top cap fell off that one. So there we go. Let's turn that down a bit. Now one other problem, not a problem really, that I didn't really like, was on the front panel. You see this hole here, it says noise limiter, and the hole is drilled through the middle of it, and the actual switch was bolted to here. Now, none of these other controls are bolted to the front panel, and then having a look at it, I realised that the actual noise limiter switch is inside, and that writing is basically telling you where the switch is on the inside. So I suppose it's a bit awkward actually opening the top, putting your hand in and moving the switch. Now I haven't wired the noise limiter up yet. I thought I'd try it without the noise limiter, and also found this switch is a bit dodgy, so that's a little job to do. Wire the other end of these up. Had them wired up, and I took them out because I wasn't getting anywhere to start it up. But it just needs connecting back up now, and a decent switch in there. But I'm going to keep that the switch where it should have been in the original modification. Now that's about it really. Next thing is to tune it up. I'm going to use a thing called the wobbulator. Now then, there was a Practical Wireless article many years ago, I think 1987, and has a wobbulator by a guy called R.A. Penfold. If anybody's old enough, they'll recognise his name. He did a lot of designs for Practical Wireless. So I haven't got the Practical Wireless here. I downloaded it. I've got the article on. I'll put a link in this video of where you can get the Practical Wirelesses from last year's anyway. Right, so I made a printed circuit board. It is here. Oops. Of the actual design that was in Practical Wireless, and I've even managed to get some writing on there where the chips go. So it's 3 ICs basically, 4 ICs, a couple of transistors, and it's a sweep, basically a wobbulator, sweep oscillator, sweeps over 400 to about 500 kilohertz. That I shall use to set up. It has a separate trigger output to trigger the scope there, and that will give me a nice waveform, and then I can set up these IF cans hopefully. and maybe after that have a look at some of the coils for the in the coil pack. What I need to do now, unfortunately, is probably have to take that off, turn it upside down again so I can work on it. Can't really turn it upside down in this condition, and take at least try and take the wave change bar out and put the original one back in, and see if I can get some grub screws. Now the grub screws seem to have lost. I think I found one. Now metric grub screws won't fit, so I'm going to have to look for, not sure what thread they were using then. Right, well, thanks for watching. I'm pretty happy with it so far. A bit disappointed the BFO didn't work, and there's a slight problem with the AVC, which I need to sort out. I've been through the circuit again and again, and I think it's probably out of tune. So there we go. Quite a nice sound, really. There's a lack of stations, isn't there?
Across, stretcher those long legs.
Well, I think it's a wave band switch. So I really need to sort out the wave band switch there. As you can see, it's definitely not lining up properly. Well, there we go. So that's a quick demonstration of it so far. A few bits and pieces that iron out, and hopefully I'll get it all sorted out eventually. Get all the wrinkles ironed out, as I say. Right, turn the HT off. I'll switch it off. And one other thing, and I'll switch it off. The link for the heaters. If you remember on mine, it's a little link like this. This is one I made, well, partly made. The original one fell apart. It was made of plastic, so I managed to, I'm not going to unscrew it now. These are the original pegs, and I use this modelling clay, and I've drilled a hole in it there. You can see, put a pin in and then tighten these up to it. So I had this is the like modelling clay. It's called mini put, and it's a 2-part epoxy. So I mixed it together. We'll do a bit of filing down there and painting black. So that made a nice replacement. Link for the heaters there. Right, thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll have it all the little quirks ironed out and do the next video. Thank you.